Please rise. Court is now in session.
Love, strength, Fighting for Justice is the podcast. Fighting spell with a PA. Serving Philly in the counties and the tri-states. Speak to change people's minds, yeah, we don't see hate. If you ever want to question law, yeah, let's debate.
What up, people? We are back with a quick edition of Fighting for Justice. It's Josh's mic, and it's loose. What's going on here?
Oh man, you can't see these new kicks.
What up, people? We're going to jump right in today. We only got a couple things. We want to make it quick, but we want to talk about a couple things that have been going on. What's going on? We can see you guys in the comments. Like, comment. Is it, what does that say? B-Sox BB? Babe?
Sox, babe?
What's going on, guys? So we want to talk about sports, and we want to talk about violence, right? So I cannot stress this enough of you need to keep your hands to yourself, right? Like that. I don't know why. Of course. Okay, there we go. I don't know why.
Nah, it's good, man. This
I
technology.
was about to get frustrated.
We got the full setup. Nah, it's all
I was
good.
about to get frustrated. But yeah. So we want to talk about the Draymond Green. Keep your hands to yourself. See how you guys feel about that. And we want
more shit on Tua.
Yeah, more shit on Tua and the NFL, and what we really need to tell NFL. So go ahead. Do you want to jump in on?
Yeah. So I know you guys. The new episode isn't out yet, and it will be shortly. So you're not going to know what we're talking about right here, right? You will if you're watching on YouTube. But we just kind of went in depth on Tua, right? And during part of our conversation, I brought up that I thought the hit on Tua was dirty, right? At least I thought, like, he did it. He went. I don't know how to say it, right? He did a little too much when he slammed him off the earth and, knocked him out, right? Mm-hmm. That's what I said. And the funny thing is now I get to put my foot in my mouth, right? Because I sat here, and this is what's fun about this shit. We sit here, we talk about it, and I say, the NFL should look into doing something about that, right? And here's the cool thing. Clearly, they fucking did. And I say cool, and what I mean is this is just a great example of how, like, an overcorrection of something when you're wrong will just fuck it. It makes no sense. So if you guys don't know, right? One, I'm talking about, there's really two specific plays this weekend that are famous, right? Or maybe from Thursday, either way. But one was Tom Brady, right? And one was the Raiders-Chiefs game last night, okay? Both of them, if you haven't seen them, go ahead and Google them, right? We can't put NFL shit up on here, so go check it out.
Right.
But, I mean, they called roughing the passer on two hits that legitimately, like, there was nothing else that could happen.
I mean, here's the thing. The NFL's biggest problem right now, and I don't really want to talk about the NFL because I've given them enough pump, but it is in the space of it. Their problem is my problem with how trials go today. Oh, that's the other thing I want to talk about. I want to talk about the way that we do trials. And please, guys, please comment on this because I'm interested to know how you guys feel about this. So the NFL, right, the sport who prides themselves on integrity, we want to make sure that we're doing things for the best interest of the entertainers or all that crap. Whereas they allow cheating, right? You have the technology to make sure that you get things right, right? However, they will encourage you that, like, let's say a pass happens or something happens and the person doesn't catch the ball. Right. But it's really close and we don't know. If they run up and snap the ball before we can actually find out what happens, we will allow something that shouldn't have stood to stand.
Sure.
Right. If the idea is to get it right all the time and we now have the technology to get it right all the time, why will we allow people to cheat?
Yeah. Look, here's
why don't you move forward with the technology you have?
Here's the problem that I have is even if they took them to review, right? Like, I guess this is what I'm saying. They weren't the wrong call. It wasn't the wrong call, right? According to whatever fucking new rule changes.
Well, according to the rule of the law, which again, that gets me back to the law itself, right? There are two things that laws do. Like rules, I use rule and law interchangeably. They're the same thing, right? If it's a rule, it's a law. So if something says, right, like the rule, of, I think, roughing the passer or the unnecessary roughness is you can't fall on somebody with your full weight.
But so hold on. The reason I'm saying this is the players union and the teams agreed to like an updated rule for this week.
Right.
I don't even know what it is, and I don't think anybody else does. Right.
So I can't articulate, but essentially they have redefined what like will get you pulled out of the game.
Okay.
Right. So it's supposed to be more of like, okay, well,
but they also
if we can
their
see
rules.
like anything, you're coming out of the game. Now we don't know how, but my point is there's more than just the words, right? There is how do we implement the rule? How will it work? Who's going to enforce the rule? A rule doesn't mean a damn thing if nobody enforces it, and if nobody enforces it equally. That's the problem we have with our police, right? Or with our laws generally, is that sure, we have all kinds of laws and all kinds of rules, but if it's not applied properly, then it's not going to help those that we put it there for in the first place.
Absolutely. Well, hey, listen. The only thing that I saw watching football this weekend is if that's the new roughing the passer or whatever the fuck you want to call unnecessary roughness, like they're all the same thing, right? It's unenforceable. And,
it is.
And here's the deal: at the end, if you want to protect quarterbacks, then fine. There's got to be a rule that you can't take them to the ground.
I agree. I mean,
like because you can't have this shit. Do you know what I mean? Like you can't have. Like last night's game, now I know the Chiefs won. I know they won, okay? But that's not the point. The point is it was a 10-point swing. Well,
I mean, but like there will always be, as long as there are human beings who are reffing this, there will always be human error. And as long as we do not allow the computers or the technology to help the humans, then there will always be massive human error. Yeah. So like the problem with the NFL is that they have the technology, they just refuse to use it. That's on them. I honestly don't care.
The problem with the NFL is that for some reason, like cigarette companies, they just refuse to admit that this shit's dangerous.
Exactly.
And no matter
it's a dangerous sport.
How many different ways we try to implement
a
quarterback safe kind of fucking rule. You all right, so we are at a place where you can't put full body weight on a quarterback, right? You can't hit them after they throw, which I know that's always been a rule, but now it's like strictly enforced, right? You can't touch them in the head, right? You can't have hands to the face. All those things are now definitely penalties as compared to when I played. And like when I watch football, they weren't penalties, right?
Right, but they should be.
Here's all I'm saying. You can't add anything else besides you can no longer take a quarterback down. Because the play yesterday, he's passing, he hits him, right? He grabs him.
I've seen it.
Right? He fumbles, he grabs the ball, and as he's grabbing the ball, he lands on him, roughing the passer.
I've seen it. I agree. I just personally don't care enough because the problem is easily fixed. The NFL just doesn't care. So if they don't care, I'm not going to like... what do we have? We have that I hate that they seem to change the rules within the game being played.
I agree.
I mean, the problem is that I don't know that they changed the rules. It is that it is always subjective, right? A rule when it gets called, especially things like that, they could call holding every play. They could call passive interference every play. They could call, most of their calls, they could call almost every play. Now, there are some of them that are really, really obvious. There are some of them that kind of could go either way. They have the technology to where if they make a call, they can look at the video and say, you know what, we want to pick up that flag. We don't want to agree with that, but they won't do it. That's what they should do. And because they don't, F it, they're going to get this.
I agree.
That is what they're telling us. Like, hey, look, we would rather use human beings in the moment than cameras after the fact. Okay. Human beings are going to mess up then.
I mean, I regret putting it into the universe that I thought that the D lineman was at any fault.
Exactly. I told. There's nothing you could do. He's big. He's fast.
I take it back.
What are you going to do about it?
I take it back. I correct my statement. NFL, you don't need to do shit. That was a legal hit. And the funny thing is, listen, it was a legal hit.
I agree.
So, you're going to sit here and play these fucking games. This is why the NFL sucks. This is why I don't want to watch it. Because dude, just tell us that the people are going to get fucking hurt.
Right.
And if we don't like it, then
don't watch.
Guess what? Your fans like it. I don't know who you're talking to when you're like, we need to act like people don't get hurt. Well, fucking people love that. That's why they watch your shit.
Right,
you don't even have to lie to them.
Right.
So I'm sorry I put that. That's why I wanted to come back and talk about it real quick.
Fair enough.
I fucked up. I'm sorry for putting it into the universe. Like, here's the deal. I never thought they would actually fucking do anything, and then you watch this week. I don't even know what's going on. You can't tackle a quarterback. Fine. I don't want to watch fucking football, so let's go back. I'm not saying you should kill a quarterback, but if you literally can't just tackle them, like, oh my God, we're going to the ground together, fuck it. Right? Done. It's over. Like, dude, just say, here's the deal. You want a rule that you can enforce? If you take a quarterback to the ground, it's a fucking penalty. I don't know how you're supposed to play, right? I don't know how you're supposed to figure that out, but good luck. Hug them.
Have you gotten that off your soul now?
Yeah,
I was about to say that I'm not disagreeing with you. I just couldn't give it less. Like the NFL this is easily it's they can fix this. They just don't care. So I'm not going to argue about it.
I don't even know that they can fix it. I don't think it's
they can.
problem. Here's what I'm going to say. They're acting like this is a problem that they can fix. Okay,
that's what I mean.
Right?
That's
it
what I
is
mean.
not
They
a
know
problem that can be fixed. You like, in my opinion, sure. Listen, I'm not talking about the doctors lying or players lying when they have concussions.
Right.
Listen, there's other areas that might be able to. You could. I don't give a fuck what you do. It's not my problem.
Correct.
When I watch the game, I know that the penalties that you've put in place, like all the rules, for the most part, they're there to protect the players, not offsides. You know, I understand, but targeting, like all these things are new. So guess what? You can't fucking do anything else, and just stop. Tell us that it's dangerous and move the fuck on. Tell the players, as if they don't already know, that, hey, you're going to get hurt probably. And then we all move on together.
All right, so agreed. I have two things sports related that I want to talk about. The first one is, did you see Devontae Adams at the end of the game? He shoves like I don't know who he was, but it looked like a cameraman. Thank you.
Yeah.
Did you see it?
I did.
Okay, what do you think?
I saw both angles.
What do you think?
Because there's new angles.
Because I have my own opinion, but I'll let you rock
Listen,
first. So you want me to go?
No. You don't need to tell us you have your own opinion.
Touche. Obviously, I have my opinion about everything.
You always have your own opinion. So, anyway.
Hold on, Bozok's babe. Why was that awful?
No, the fucking hit on the cameraman. I'll bet you $100 right now. That's what she's talking about.
Is that put in there, Bozok's babe? Is that 216? Is it Bozok's?
Yes.
Okay, all right. I'm blind. It's too far away.
But anyway, she's talking about pushing the camera, and that was awful. Not the fact that you're talking. People don't think you're awful.
Could be. The hit on the camera. Okay, all right. And you agree?
Oh, we didn't take that bet. I said we didn't take that bet now. Yeah. Anyway. So
all right.
Here's what I'll say. Yes.
Okay, all right.
I was gonna say she's probably
Both
Red Sox
sides.
fan.
Yeah, I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. Go ahead.
That's why I think you fucking titled this "Keep Your Hands to Yourself." Keep your fucking hands to yourself. No. Ask me for my opinion, and you have to let me finish.
Touche, brother. Touche. You're right. Go ahead.
Because you can have yours.
I'm push the mic away so you can talk. Go ahead.
All right. So, like, I know you're pissed. This goes just like we were talking about, right? When the fan fucking ran on the field, okay, and got smashed by you know his name, the linebacker,
Bobby Wagner.
Bobby Wagner. Yeah. And now fuck, call the cops, and you were on the field, you got what you deserved. So, the cameraman.
Damn, she hope the cameraman presses charges.
Well, just so you know, the cameraman called the police. They filed a police report.
Wow.
But
touche.
Here's all I'm gonna say. Like, he's wrong.
Sure.
Okay, he shouldn't have pushed him because he's just a fucking cameraman.
Sure.
And then that's my opinion. Now, whether or not anything happens, it was fucking minor. The guy's sitting there. I'm looking at him. He gets up. Dude, I know this is going to be blown way the fuck out of proportion.
Right.
Devontae Adams.
Right.
And he's a huge name. And he's the biggest sign of the offseason. And I'm here to tell you that I don't fucking care. They should. If you do press charges, nothing's going to happen, okay? I just want to let you know. Even if he calls the cops and they press charges, nothing will happen to Devontae Adams because nothing should. It was a fucking push. He didn't punch him in the face. He didn't hurt him. So, that's my opinion. Devontae's wrong. You shouldn't fucking push people because, like, dude, you fucking know what's going to happen. And I'm going to finish my opinion now and say, hey, give us your opinion, JJ. Because he fucking never cannot talk.
Because you take long breaks. Like, don't be taking dramatic pauses in the middle of your statement.
I'm trying to
keep
think.
flowing. Like I'm
trying to think, but I'm done.
Exactly. You just try to waste time. So here's the way I see it. And I watched it many, many times. I don't think Devontae Adams actually like saw him, right? Like he was looking, like they were both zoned out because I think that they both were like, Devontae was mad and he's walking towards the tunnel. The guy comes kind of out of his peripheral vision and they took bad angles towards each other. So they both kind of looked like startled. Now, Devontae pushes him. He does. I have no doubt that I'm not saying he didn't push him. I think that when he recognized him, he startled. They kind of startled each other, right? And Devontae shoves him. And after he shoves him, he looks at him like, yo, why would you walk up on me like that, right? And then he goes back and he says, he's like, he came into my vision and I pushed him. I know I shouldn't have. It would have been different if he saw him, walked towards him, and pushed him. I don't think either one of them actually meant to take the angles, right? But in that moment, he was angry. Now, I have no doubt that if he wasn't angry, he probably doesn't respond that way that fast. Yeah. But he's also an athlete. He also has better, like, he's paid to be strong and fast. And, like, listen, he did push him. Now, I don't think he meant to, like, I don't think he meant to any ill will. And he also went right to the locker. He apologized twice, right? Not because he had to, but because he felt bad. And I think that sometimes we need to accept that, like, we see people, players, athletes, celebrities, and people generally, they apologize when they must.
After they get caught.
Right, after they get caught. He came right out and was like, look, I was angry and I shouldn't have pushed him. My bad. I want to apologize to him. And then doubled down and tweeted something and said, hey, look, I hope you see this. I didn't mean to. I shouldn't have done that. My bad. I think sometimes we have to allow for people to be human beings. People do make mistakes, and that's okay, right? Nobody's suggesting he should have pushed him. But this was a vast difference, which is going to jump us into the next one, between that and what Draymond Green did, right? Those are two. I think Devontae's was just a little bit mix of like bad luck with bad intent. Like he didn't have enough time to think about that. That was like he was in his face and he kind of shoved him. And by that point, it was already too late. But
I personally just think, because I know how I'd be after I just lost the game because my fucking teammate ran into me.
Right, and imagine somebody walked into your space, I'd
look up, and my first thought would be, get the fuck out of my way, and I'd push you.
Depending on how far, like, he was close enough to where he could actually push him, right? Like, it was
but that's
when he looked up,
I don't
he
need
went
to
like
know
this.
His intentions were like, get the fuck out of my way.
But if you look at it, they both startled, because the cameraman, when he didn't notice Devontae either, he walked up and he jumped back. Devontae just pushed.
I know, but I've also ran into people and I don't throw them on the ground.
Well, I mean, they're bigger and stronger. What do you expect?
But it's because I don't actually push them. Like, we run into each other and I go, oh my God, right? And things happen. And
I think that, like, we need to put intent where intent belongs, right? Like,
he intended to push him because he did.
He did intend, and that's why he apologized.
His arms went like this.
And that's why he apologized.
He went like this, right?
I'd be okay with a fine. I'd be okay. Like, fine that person. That situation should never come into the criminal justice system.
I agree.
That should never. It is assault. That should never come into the criminal justice system.
Barely assault, and it wouldn't be charged as an assault. But you're right.
It shouldn't be. It would
be harassment.
I mean, I wouldn't charge it with anything except like a fine. Like, give the person a fine.
Right? Like, that's what a summer harassment is. Like,
I mean, that really is a simple assault.
It is, but they never charge it that way.
I mean, I agree. So, all right. So,
but he should not be arrested, right? Like, this is what I mean. We don't need to blow it out of proportion. All I'm saying is, don't fucking push people. I know that's easy to say because I would probably do the same fucking thing he did. I probably wouldn't have apologized. And when I got asked about it, I'd be like, dude, get the fuck out of my way. Like, I just lost. Why are you standing in my way? None of that's right. This is why I would get fined and suspended. Right, so like he did the right thing immediately. Yeah. You gotta give him some credit for that. It's not this canned bullshit response that Draymond gave, because like I don't give a fuck what he says, to be honest. Because like you could have did it without all these videos, but we'll get into that.
I was about to segue right into it.
Like Devontae, listen, move on. Segue
right into it.
Like Yeah, but it could have been your parent, but he pushed, listen, I see the comment. It could have been your parent. It could have been a kid. It could have been somebody who's
What does
disabled.
that say? I look at it like, wow, that could have been my parent that pushed. Oh, now Bo Sox babe, we got a problem.
That's what I mean.
Because this is
it doesn't matter who it is. 'Cause
right.
It doesn't change the fact
Let's
that
not
wasn't
make it
violent.
worse though. Let's not. ESPN did that too because one of the reporters was like, "Well, it could have been a woman." I'm like, it could have been a paraplegic. It could have been a priest. It could have been like, why are we going to make it the worst possible thing and then judge him as that?
Like,
it was what it was.
Like, here's the deal. That cameraman certainly has family.
Right.
I guarantee you.
The person he pushed isn't
you-
the problem. It's the action of him pushing.
Like, I guarantee you that at the end of the day, his family probably is upset, I guess, but they probably don't even know why they're fucking upset. Because he's not hurt. He's not in fucking the hospital. Like,
I mean, we don't know that, but we're assuming.
no, he's certainly not. Get the fuck out of here. So, like, I'm struggling with caring at all because I know I should.
Right.
Because you can't go around and push people. But I also know that, like, if somebody pushed me, I fucking wouldn't call the cops. Okay? And it's because it's Devontae Adams. If Devontae Adams pushed me, I would just go, hey, sign something. Or I'm calling the cops.
Somebody said that, like, look,
I'd
just
immediately go
give
to
him like
blackmail.
a 10. Hey, look, 10 grand.
I'd immediately go
And
blackmail.
call it
I'd be
a
like,
day.
I know who just pushed me. I'm not. Listen, I want to hang out with you tonight because, like, I know how cool that is. Like, take me out with all the players. I want you to sign some shit, and I'm gonna forget you pushed me. He doesn't have to apologize then. He doesn't have to say anything.
Touché.
I would get on camera and go, "I'm sorry, I fell over."
Even though it's on camera.
I'd be like, I don't know. This is the problem, folks. You can't believe everything you see on TV because he turned. I got scared. I fell over. Anyway.
So going from one spectrum all the way to the other, which is the Draymond Green. Hopefully you guys have seen this Draymond Green situation, at least the video. If not, go check it out. Speak on it. Draymond Green slugging his teammate. And you guys, go ahead.
So this one's easy. This one, I like. If there's charges pressed and he gets arrested, whatever that. And again, the same applies to what I'm just saying about the other guy. I don't know that anything happens, right? Because it is a punch. Jordan Poole's not injured, at least from what we know. They're not saying. I mean, he did get fucked up, right? I don't know if he got knocked out, but it looked like a knockout. It was close.
I don't know.
But here's all I know. You fucking sucker punched a teammate. That's assault. Mm-hmm. Everything about it's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I arrest him.
I was about to say, like, I am all for, like, keep sports in sports, but this sets a dangerous precedent to me. The fact that you have somebody punching somebody on camera and the organization gets to, like, keep it under wraps. Like, nobody else gets to do that. Like, if me or you know what I mean, put it on camera, the cops is coming.
Well, that's the thing. Like, just because we own this law firm, if I fucking punch you in the face right now, and then someone downstairs calls the police and they show up and are like, nah, we're going to take care of this ourselves. Like, if there's a witness, like I saw Dave crank him in the face and JJ has a black eye and he's bleeding, I'm getting arrested.
Yes, you are.
I can't be like, listen.
I was about to say, let me stop you right now because I need everybody out there to know if you punch me in my face, you going to fuck to jail. All right, like I'm not in here to fight. I'm not a fighter, but I am like my man Bernie Mac. He is right here. He put his hands on me. He didn't watch this live that tell you to keep your hands to yourself, and I think he needs 2 to 4.
And all I would say, I would just go, guys. When the cop showed up, I go, listen, I was scared for my life.
That's fucked up.
And they would go, wait.
Wow.
Oh shit, he you know what? He
Black man in Malvern in Chester County. You right. You probably was scared.
Listen, I already have it planned out just in case we have a Draymond Green situation.
That's fucking. Nah, ain't no Draymond Greens over here. And y'all saw it. Y'all heard it on live camera. Yeah, never.
But so anyway, how does anybody argue that he shouldn't be arrested?
I think the only argument you can actually make is that it is a separate entity. Sports have their own rules within our society that we have accepted, right? Like that is a rule in our society that, like, you can fight in hockey, you can fight in basketball, you can fight in football, and regardless of what you do, right, you will not go to jail. Outside of that, I honestly don't know why it is a good idea for us to show our children or our society, even not just children. I don't want some adults to think, because some of our clients honestly think they fucking Draymond Green and be like, hey, look, man, he disrespected me on the basketball court, so I had to knock him out. Cool, but Draymond plays for the Warriors. You play for UPS, and you going to jail. like you, sir, are going to jail. And I mean, that's not how that works.
Yeah, I don't know, man. He needs some help. That's what it comes down to.
I mean, I don't.
He's been the same way. He's been the same way.
But what if it's not your teammate? So we got a comment here, but you're not supposed to fight your teammates. Are you supposed to fight other people, right? Michael Jordan, the GOAT, the greatest of all time, is on camera saying he punched Steve Kerr in the face. How come Michael Jordan's not going to jail? Why? We all know, because he's the best basketball player in the world at the time. You don't send the best basketball player in the world at the time on probation, because we call it, his competitive nature. That's what makes him the greatest. But it also makes him an a-hole.
I mean, the thing that I hate is this is really a problem in technology as well. Because when Michael Jordan punched somebody in the face, there wasn't fucking cameras everywhere.
Right.
So, and
it was easier to keep it quiet.
That's why, it's weird, because we still operate like we're in 1960.
Right.
If the cops even do show up, they're like, hey, listen, we got it. It was practice.
Right.
And then 3 weeks later, the video comes out, and the cops are like, you motherfuckers.
If I could give free advice to all of the what did we say? He said, no, you should never, but it is accepted within the sports. Yeah, but should it be is the question. Like we accept it, but should we accept just like fights? And why do we glorify them at that? Right? Like
we do. I mean,
why?
Again, just like telling the NFL, people fucking love the product you produce.
Violence.
People love. I've never in my fucking life heard a person go, did you see that fucking fight last night in the Sixers game? I hated it.
Right.
Or they didn't talk about it, right? Because that's really your natural kind of thing. Like, if you didn't like it, you wouldn't even talk about it, right? The only fucking thing people talk about, right? Draymond Green punched teammate. Did you see that Aaron Donald choked somebody? Did you see that fucking brawl last night?
Right.
You know why? Because they fucking loved it.
Right.
And that's the truth. Again, just start telling us the truth. Right? If the cops would just literally get on TV and be like, listen, we don't press charges because you fuckers love it. There's too much money. People would be mad at us. So we just let that shit go. Anyway, you better not have weed on you.
Right. Or you're going to jail for life.
So, whatever. Draymond should absolutely be suspended. And, this is the fucked up thing. You leave it to the team to decide.
Right.
Oh, you're going to suspend the fucking starter? Maybe. They're going to figure out some punishment. They're going to be like, listen, Jordan and the team and Draymond are happy with this conclusion. We made him run laps. Suicides. We told him 200 laps for each punch. You know what I mean?
Yo, can you imagine if they sent Draymond Green to anger management or something like that? Like we do in court. You see Draymond Green on the side of the road picking up trash, doing community service.
Was talking about Perkins?
Kendrick Perkins?
Yeah. He's like, he needs anger management. I had to go through it when I was in the league, and I was just like, yeah, well, dude, listen, I guess. Sure. Yeah, make him go do some community service.
Right, that's going to matter, though.
I want to be like, did it help you? It didn't.
No.
It taught you how to not fucking get in trouble.
Here's my thing, though. It either has to be fair for all my things is it has to be fair, right? Any law that is ever applied needs to be fair.
Like Aaron Donald?
Right. I hated that though when the dude before Aaron Donald that did it swung the helmet.
Myles Garrett.
Yeah, Myles Garrett swung the helmet, and there were actual ESPN analysts like he should go to jail. I'm like, whoa, wait. Now you want to start sending NFL players to jail. They basically can kill each other on the field, and now you mad that somebody swung a helmet. Sit down and shut up, all right? Because
that's what
you're being an idiot. Because they commit violence every single play. You're gonna pick this one because you don't like it, and then be like, he should go to jail. If Draymond is gonna be arrested, then from now on, every time somebody fights in the NBA, they need to be getting charges. They will never do that. So Draymond can't get his either.
Yeah, Draymond.
So like I do not just be like, oh, we got to make an example out of him,
You won't.
but we're gonna let everybody else keep
I already
fucking
know
up.
they
No, that's
won't.
not right.
I already know they won't because the Warriors are allowed to handle it. They're not gonna. Again, their business.
Well, I just can't imagine a world where they would actually, that would be like the end of their shields, right? All of them.
Yeah.
The moment we arrest a professional player for something they did at work.
Do you know the answer to this? What's his name? When they ran into the crowd because fucking dude threw the beer. They get arrested?
No. The malice of, I don't know that for a fact.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know that for a fact. They should have, but you're talking about Ron Artest and Jermaine.
I don't think they.
I'll look into that. I'm going to say no. If anybody knows in the comments if any of them got arrested, let us know. I'm going to guess no, but I actually watched the 30 for 32 or whatever it was on it.
Right.
But I don't remember.
That's kind of where I'm at. Here's all I know. Ready? I'm gonna make this very simple. JJ has his rule, like fair for all. Okay, I agree with that. Here's all I know. If they didn't get arrested, nobody ever gets arrested.
Yeah, it's hard to argue with that.
Like, we're
it's
done.
hard to argue with that.
I'm done. And I'm not saying they were wrong, right? Like people are throwing shit at them, so they just went and fucked them up. But they're also just people sitting in the fucking stands.
Yeah.
And also some of the people that they were fucking up weren't actually involved. So, like, you don't get to make that mistake. You know what I mean? In real life, anytime. You don't get to just beat someone up and be like, oh, fuck, it was actually him. But I did beat him up, too.
Right.
Beat up everybody who was up here. So, like, you can't, like, dude, if they weren't fucking arrested, like, Draymond's in practice, hit a teammate.
Right.
Yeah, okay. Listen, if the fans don't have protection,
That's a good point.
Teammates
Yeah,
don't have
right.
protection.
Wait, Latrell Sprewell, when he choked his coach out, right? I think he just got they might have got rid of the coach. Man, there's so much violence in sports that like when there is violence and people are like, I don't like this violence in these sports. I'm like, all right, man.
But that's what I was telling you.
I don't get it.
It's funny that in other sports, right, there tends to become like this clear line, like I was telling you. So in UFC and in boxing, you can watch them. It happens, and it shouldn't, but people get arrested, right? So fight's over. You know what I mean? Fucking emotions are running high. One dude lost, and it's usually a dude who lost. They're sitting there
always,
and then they fucking attack, the fighter when he's defenseless, right? He's talking to his coach and they punch him in the back of the head, or they they start fighting with somebody in their corner. You know what I mean? Like they hit the coach or something. Like they always get arrested, right? Because I guess it's because the fine line is if you're not beating the shit out of each other during regulation. Right, you now committed a crime. So it's funny to me that they get treated specially, right? They don't get that special protection.
Yeah,
so
I don't know.
when they get mad and they right after the fight ends, JJ wins. I know he won, but I'm pissed. So I punch you in the fucking face. I get arrested.
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
My guess is probably some kind of insurances that they have or don't have that they're probably like, look,
but I
once
get
this
it.
is
So
over,
but in those
we're
sports,
done.
the funny, in combat sports, there's a fine line, right?
Yeah.
If it's not in a round, your ass is getting arrested. Now, I also know that
I agree.
But I also know that Dana White, that's kind of his thing though.
Right.
Right? He's constantly saying, we're fucking professionals. This is not, a schoolyard.
Right.
You don't get to just fight people. And he
Right.
doesn't care. That's, I think, the huge difference. He's arrest them.
Right.
Right? That's the difference. You're not going to have NBA owners arrest Draymond. They're like, no, hold
Well,
on.
that's true because they are much, the players are worth a lot more money
To the team,
to the
to
teams
everything.
than they are in UFC or in boxing. They're your own entity. There's always somebody else coming up. So unless you're
and that's why
Floyd,
Dana always says,
take them out. We'll find another.
This is an organization. We're professionals.
Right. You ain't gonna find another LeBron James, Steph Curry that. They are what they are. So.
But I mean, even Conor got arrested. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because fighters can be replaced. I hate to say it that way, but
fighters get replaced in the fight.
Right.
You not watch them? I've been that.
That's not my stilo. I'm not a violence
I've
person.
never said that, but I'm gonna start using that. When somebody just gets creamed, I'm gonna go, he got replaced.
So I want to take this to last thing is I named this Keep Your Hands to Yourself because I am tired, guys. I am tired of having to explain to people to keep your mother hands to yourself, okay? Just because somebody disrespects you does not give you the right to put your hands on them. If another person calls me, an adult, not a child, but an adult over the age of 40 years old, calls me and says, well, listen, I had to hit them because they disrespected me.
Yep.
All right, guys, I'm going to tell you right now what my response is going to be. You didn't have to hit them. You wanted to hit them. And because you did, you are now in trouble. It is just that simple. I'm going to break this down one more time for you. The difference between self-defense and revenge. If me and Dave here, if I were to get up and I hit you, Dave, right? If I hit you and I turn my back and walk away from you, can you, if you come attack me now, is that self-defense or what are you doing?
Oh, man, I was waiting for you to ask a bad question. But that is not self-defense. I cannot touch you. Because I can safely retreat.
Exactly. Guys, there is a big difference. And I hear a lot of people say, well, he hit me, so I was just defending myself. Okay, so tell me, sir, after he hit you, what did you do? Well, I went to the kitchen, I grabbed the knife, and nope, you are no longer defending yourself. You went and got a weapon at that.
Correct.
First of all, like when you went and got a weapon, now you're escalating it. So now he can then escalate it. Mm-hmm. Right?
Well, he can meet you with equal force.
Right, or he can meet you with equal force, right? It's equal or escalating force.
Escalating is bad.
Right. I mean, you don't want to escalate it.
If you're the escalator, you're going to jail.
Usually. And then it is a job of what we can prove.
If you're not dead, by the way.
Here is the other thing, guys. Self-defense is what we call an affirmative defense, okay? So what that means is that even if you are correct, right? So let's say on our same kind of scenario, I start punching you, right? Mm-hmm. And then you start winning the fight and you start beating me up. Mm-hmm. The way that self-defense works is that when the cops get here, they still should arrest you.
Correct.
Right? Why is that? He was just defending himself because legally it is a step-by-step process. So what that means is that they have to prove I was assaulting him first. You can't just defend yourself if nobody's like assaulting you.
Correct.
So then after they prove that I was assaulting Dave, they have to then Dave, can prove
that I defended myself.
That he was defending himself. It is a justification.
Then they have to prove, right?
Then it swings back to us.
Then the burden swings back to them.
As the district attorney.
And they have to basically disprove your self-defense claim.
So it is a convoluted way of saying that just because you defend yourself doesn't mean I can go to the district attorney or your lawyer can go to the police and say, hey, I was defending myself, so you should let me out. Nah, that shit pretty much only works for George Zimmerman.
He's still at a trial.
Right, but they let his ass back out right away.
But he's still at a trial.
He did have a trial,
right.
Which he should have.
And exactly. That's all. Listen.
Now, for minorities, you're going to wait in jail for your trial.
Oh, fucking 1,000,000%.
Now, they let him back out, and he did have his trial.
1,000,000%.
But if you poor, if you black, if you brown, you waiting in jail to prove that you defended yourself. So before you kill somebody in self-defense that you didn't have to, you might just want to win the fucking fight and walk away. You might just want to walk away, period, if you can walk away. The rule in self-defense, if you can get away, you should.
I'm
right?
only going to say one thing on this, right? The only reason really that fucking people know about self-defense is because they get to watch trials of people claiming self-defense. That should be your fucking key.
Right.
That self-defense is not something that you should be throwing. Oh, man.
Right.
I could defend myself. Okay,
right.
Cool, dude. From jail for 2 years while we have
waiting.
to figure out a way to come fucking talk to you.
Right. While you mad at us like, where you at?
Get me out. You don't come and talk to me. Your trial's not for fucking 3 years. I haven't seen you in 6 months. All right, cool. Here's the deal. Self-defense, right? Yeah, good job. And we don't even know if you're like, listen, it's not that fucking cut and dry. Everybody's like, some breaks my house, I'm going to shoot him. Never happens.
Right,
it
right.
Never fucking happens. And if it does, good for you. You win. You self-defended yourself.
You self-defended yourself. I would tell you guys that if you hear someone saying like, the next time that you hear someone saying like, man, I was defending myself, challenge it a little bit and listen to what they actually say.
No, they were getting
just
revenge.
listen to what they say, and probably 9 times out of 10 the story will go something like, this person hit me or assaulted me, so I had to defend myself. And when you ask them, okay, what did you do? Oh, so I beat the shit out of him. Oh, so that's not defending yourself. You didn't defend yourself. You just got revenge.
Correct.
And then the law will see you as the initial aggressor, and you will go to jail. And you will stand there being like, I was defending myself. It didn't look that way when you were stomping on his face.
Yeah. And the judge will say, well, defend yourself in jail.
Exactly.
You should have listened to your lawyer.
So with that, guys, that was kind of
We're out.
the quick version. We love y'all. Peace out. Stay safe.
Questions on the law, JJ, who you call? Come and get your justice. Fight, 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 fighting for justice. Fight, 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 fighting for justice. Fight, whoa,
We keep on fighting.
Wanna know the law? You know who to call.
We keep on fighting.